It is the middle ground between the big two and the. There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host of Church of Failure, and with me, as always, is my trusty co-host, Eric McCartney. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I got my Guinness poured. I'm ready to listen to some Blue Beetle.
So, one question, real quick. With the last name thing, did Yoko Ono have John Lennon killed? Figured you knew. It was like some insider shit.
I mean, probably. Paul and Yoko haven't really seen eye to eye in like 40 years.
So, Matt Christie in the chat with a resounding yes. I think we have a believer.
What's up, Matt?
Busy day today. Getting back first of the week. Cool comic launched on Indiegogo today. You heard about that?
Hell yeah.
It's the only thing that I talked to you about today.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this book.
For anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, and Ayrton obviously can't take a vocal cue. We got Galactic Rodents of Mayhem launched today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and there I was clicking the link obsessively in my email, waiting for the page to refresh and the crowdfund to go live so that I could get the number one backer spot, like a college girl trying to get One Direction tickets. Is that still the thing?
I was gonna say NSYNC, but that's because I'm old. Okay,
yeah, I'm trying to be hip and with it with the kids. Kids on the YouTube, they appreciate the topical reference. Being a smartass. But yeah, I'm refreshing this link like over and over, and I'm like, yes, I got in there, and then I realized I didn't remember whether it needed the date or the last 3 digits on my card. And by the time I had put it in, I had blanked on the date, which is actually wanted. I put the 3 digits in, and it didn't take that. And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I had to pull my card out of my wallet, and I knew I had lost it to somebody. No, thankfully your internet was out. So.
Yeah, I was having issues with that. I did get number 7 though, so I'm still.
Well, you didn't know it,
so I'm cool with that.
But you didn't know as we were racing to number 1. I don't know if you were ever fully informed of this.
No, I was not.
That's how I won then. But yeah, both of us backed GROM is the abbreviation, #GROM, Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. Great logo.
You can find the link to the Indiegogo on my Twitter. I tweeted that stuff out after I backed it.
Yeah, I have it like 19 times today on mine. So, if you like Ninja Turtles and you like Guardians of the Galaxy and you like space operas, and you like comic books that come with theme songs, I mean, this is the theme song is literally like in your head the whole time if you've heard it. You're looking at this book and you're just Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, and I'm just like, oh god, so good. It reminds me of the old school Turtles, but it's like put together and colored, and the art looks so good. Like there's so much thought and preparation that went into this. Like,
yeah, the art looks awesome.
And it actually got me thinking about something. I promise we will get to the radio shortly. I wanted to go off for a little bit before before we got into it, let everybody get in. But it actually gave me kind of an idea, and I want to talk to a couple of people about it before I do it. But all the guys we've had on that do crowd funds and all the like tutorials that people put out there, we could probably do a show and talk about some things that we've seen that tend to make a crowd fund more successful in certain areas without as much backing and whatnot. Because the one thing that I noticed that I will automatically applaud creator for, who we will have on. Let me look at Twitter because I'm horrible with names. Gilbert Deltrez. I just look at the Indiegogo campaign. Gilbert Deltrez, the creator. I've been following this Indiegogo campaign for probably a month and a half, 2 months. I think I was giddy about it before it even like had a date that it was going live.
Yeah, we've both been watching it for a while.
And the first thing that I would say is that's something that I don't see a lot of people do, is promote their book that they're going to take to crowdfunding before they start the campaign. I think you gain a lot of valuable time and momentum by putting the hook out there and seeing the interest and getting that email sign up. Getting that email sign up, because that's just another chance to remind people who you've gotten interested in it already. Hey, this is launched. You were interested in this a month ago. Be interested again. But I think we can put together some things that we've noticed from certain campaigns that we liked and certain things that we didn't like, and kind of look at it objectively without really taking pot shots at anybody or lifting anybody up too high, so to speak.
Yeah.
Kind of keep it impartial.
Besides the obvious of having a massive audience like, EVS, besides that aspect of it, how can somebody make a successful campaign?
Well, even having, a massive audience like EVS, it's not necessarily going to give you that backing. It's not necessarily going to fund you.
True, but it does give you that leg up, though, over some of these other people that we've talked to.
Right, I would say that it helps, but at the same time, I don't think that that's all it takes. Not to take anything away from EVS. He does great stuff for this community, and people have to understand that he can only be spread so thin.
Yeah.
And if you want him to get the book out that he promised you months and months ago, then let him do his work and get everything handled and relax a little bit and get the book out and not be constantly doing other stuff. But anyway, getting off track. I think we could probably pull a show together where we talked about the things that we've seen in campaigns that we liked and things that we didn't like, things that seemed like good ideas that maybe paired with other ideas would become better ideas. And just, have a discussion about it with some people if they want to come on and shoot the breeze with us about it.
Yeah, I like it.
So, seems like it could be a fun topic. But anyway, without further ado, I think I've rambled long enough. Is there anything you wanted to add before we give the people what they came here for?
Nah, let's run it, Chip.
Because that is obviously not us. We are not what the people came here for. They are here for the Blue Beetle.
They are.
I don't blame them.
Not brought to you by Blue Coal.
Not brought to you by Blue Coal. Although I did find in some of the archives that I have, there is a Blue Coal. Let me put that up real quick. There is a Blue Coal Melodies or something of that nature. Yeah. Like, I'll have to look it up to get the exact name of it, but they actually had their own show. Yeah, it's very strange.
You know what I'm going to be Googling while we listen to this.
Yeah, I'll send you a link. Anyway, without further ado, folks, again, for real this time, I present the Blue Beetle, Invisible Ghost.
And watch out for dynamite.
Always watch out for dynamite.
The Blue Beetle. sweeping down upon the underworld to smash gangland comes the friend of the unfortunate, enemy of criminals. A mysterious, all-powerful character, a problem to the police, but a crusader for law. In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle. As the Blue Beetle, he hides behind a strange mask and a suit of impenetrable blue chain armor, flexible as silk but stronger than steel. Today's episode of the Blue Beetle is entitled The Invisible Ghost. Patrolman Dan Garrett, who in secret operates as the Blue Beetle, today matches brains and brawn with a cowardly, ruthless gang of crooked slot machine racketeers. Can he spike their plans to flood the city with crooked gambling devices? Will he be able to uncover the mysterious leader who directs their activities? What is behind their endeavor to install their machines at John Doerr's carnival? As our story opens, Patrolman Dan Garrett is visiting his old friend and advisor, Dr. Franz.
Danny, I've been studying up on slot machines.
Yes? You find out anything interesting?
Well, I'm convinced that the difference between an honest machine and a dishonest or crooked machine is very slight. In fact, I'd say the difference was purely academic.
What do you mean, Doc?
Well, of course, you realize I'm referring now to nickel and dime or quarter in the slot machines, from which your return, if any, will be a handful of coins.
Yeah. That doesn't include vending machines for candy, chewing gum, cigarettes, etc.
Oh, no, of course not. I'm speaking about those machines where you put a coin in the slot, push down the lever, and pictures of fruits or birds or playing cards whirl around and stop in different combinations.
Yeah, I understand.
Well, if certain combinations come up, a certain number of coins will be returned to you. Sometimes as many as 30 may come out. That's called a jackpot.
Yeah, I know. I've seen some of the boys in the force play the machines in Charlie's cigar store.
And how often do they hit the jackpot?
I don't know. Not often, I'm sure.
Precisely. Those machines are fixed in advance to release a jackpot once every 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, yes, even every 100,000 times. In other words, if you were the only one playing the machine, you would have to put in 1,000 or more coins before you'd win the jackpot.
At a nickel apiece, that's $50.
$50 to win, say, 1,000 to 1, which is average.
Yeah.
In a place like John Doerr's Carnival, each machine should average 2,000 players a day. Let's say 10 machines were installed throughout the area.
Oh, that's conservative.
Yes, I know, but let's be conservative. 10 machines would get a play of 20,000 players a day, and the average amount spent on such machines is about 20 cents per person.
Well, that's 100,000 nickels at 1,000 to 1 ratio.
The machines would pay back 100 jackpots, or about $200.
Yes, but the intake would be $4,000.
Precisely. Intake $4,000, outgo $200. And crooked operators will go to any lengths to make profits like that. Just a minute, Dan. I'll see who it is, okay?
Hello, Doc. Is the pride of the police force here?
If you mean Patrolman Dan Garrett, he's waiting for you, Madigan.
Hello, Mike. Got the car outside?
Yep. Are you ready, Daddy?
Ready and waiting. So long, Doc. Those crooked slot machine operators are going to get a big surprise when they run up against Officer Manigan and Patrolman Dan Garrett. Come on, Manigan. Let's go.
Off on special assignment, sped Dan Garrett and Officer Manigan in the police car. What is their destination? What will they find when they get there? Will it be a simple routine cleanup job, or will the Blue Beetle have to swing into action? Within 10 minutes, the police car bearing Dan Garrett and Mike Manigan is pulling up inside the gates of John Doerr's carnival.
Well, here we are at the carnival, Mike.
Yeah, where do we head first?
Now, let's look around a bit.
Okay, Daddy.
Knock down the Cupid down with a baseball. Giant, you're on, big boy. Maybe you should be with the Giants. Come on here, step right up.
I used to play baseball with the Brooklyn Sandlotters.
Why don't you try your hand at that baseball game?
I think I will. Maybe I can win a Cupid doll for my youngster.
Step right up here. Come on, step right up. Yes, right here you are. Great baseball for a Giant.
Give me 3 of them balls. I'll show you what real pitching is.
Sure thing, Lieutenant. Here you are. 1, 2, 3. That'll be a Giant. Thanks, Lieutenant.
Careful of your arm, Lieutenant Manigan. Remember, you're an old man now.
Oh, yeah? Now cut out the kidding and watch this.
Hey, better look out, fella. My pal here's cross-eyed.
Okay, brother, I'll stand over here.
All one.
No, that was just practice. Now watch this one. All through.
Nice going, Mannigan.
Well, the sun was in the eyes. But watch this one.
Hey, are you good, Cupid doll?
Boy, are you good, Mannigan. You hit the proprietor right in the old conch. You sure know you're Cupid dolls. What was that, Mannigan?
Hey, look, over there. There's a crowd around that tent.
Come on, looks like trouble.
That door's open. What's happened? The head fell down inside doorstep. Hey, anybody hurt? Come on. Hey, come on. Get back, everybody. Get back.
Hold the conch, Mike, while I have a look inside, will you?
Okay, Danny. All right, get back on. If you make room here. Come on, make room here. Get back on.
What happened, Dora? Are you all right?
Why, I guess so. A tent pole fell on me as I was sitting at my desk here.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll have Mannigan call a doctor. You may be seriously injured.
No, don't call a doctor. I'll be all right in a minute.
Here, I'll get you some water from the cooler.
Oh, thanks.
What caused the pole to fall?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe one of the ropes holding it up rotted through and broke.
Or was cut. Here, drink this.
Thanks. Oh, that's good. I feel better now.
Have those crooked slot machine racketeers been working on you?
Slot machine racketeers? Oh, no, I'm sure they had nothing to do with this.
Have any of them been out to talk with you recently?
Well, yes.
When?
Last night.
Any trouble?
Well, we had a few words. They wanted me to put some of their machines in.
And you refused?
Yes.
Did they threaten you?
Oh, in a general sort of way. But you know how thugs and underworld scum are. They talk big, but most of them it's bluff.
Yes, I know, but sometimes...
Hello, Danny. Oh, hello, Mr. Dawes. Oh, hello, Mannigan. What happened?
I'll tell you, going back in the police car.
Okay, Danny.
Mr. Dorr, you better have a couple of your men you can trust act as a bodyguard till I can get some men from the police department assigned to you. In the meantime, we're going to track down this gang of crooks and put them where they can do no more harm. Come on, Mannigan. Back to headquarters.
At police headquarters, Commissioner Donnelly, upon hearing Dan's story, ordered full speed ahead in a drive to round up the crooked slot machine racketeers. Late that night, Dan Garrett is in secret conference with Dr. Franz at his little apothecary shop.
You know, I've got a hunch, Doc, that there's going to be something doing out at the carnival tonight after the crowd has gone home.
And I suppose the Blue Beetle will be buzzing around out there.
Right. And probably nipping, too.
Look out he doesn't get nipped himself.
No, not a chance. At least not permanently. Not with this Blue Beetle costume and mask. This Blue Beetle chain armor has saved my life many times. As long as I'm on the alert, nobody can overcome the Blue Beetle.
I hope you'll always be on the alert, Danny. I'd hate to lose you.
Oh, you've been a swell friend, Doc. I owe my life to you and this chain armor you made me.
I'm working on something else that will be a great help to you, I believe, in your crusade against crime.
What's that, Doc?
A fluid that painted on your body or your suit of armor will make you practically invisible.
Hey, have you got any of it here?
Yes, but it isn't perfected yet.
What's it like?
Well, you know that every object we can see has some color to it.
Yeah.
And as long as that color is in the color spectrum, the human eye can see the object.
Yes.
But if the object is some shade outside the color spectrum, it is invisible to the human eye.
I see. And this liquid you're working on...
Outside that color band.
Then if I painted myself with this liquid, I'd be invisible.
Yes, temporarily.
What do you mean?
Well, I've got to find a fixer. Something to add to the formula which will preserve the invisible qualities of the fluid longer. At present, it oxidizes too quickly and becomes visible to the human eye within a few minutes. Here's some of it here in this jar.
Say, that's very interesting. Well, if you had it perfected, I could use it on this blue...
Quiet. There's someone out in the front of the shop. You stay here, and I'll see who it is.
Hello in there. Is anybody home?
Coming. Oh, hello, Officer Mannigan. And what brings you here at this hour?
Oh, I was passing by and just thought I'd drop in. Is Danny here?
No, Danny's not here.
Well, then I think I'll wait a bit if you don't mind, Doc. Maybe he'll turn up.
Well, I hardly think you'll find Don Garrett here tonight, Mannigan.
By the way, have you seen the Blue Beetle around?
The Blue Beetle? You mean the fantastic character who's always outwitting the police?
He won't outwit them forever. Someday I'm going to catch up with that baby, and when I do...
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have...
By the way, Doc, some neighbors of yours was telling me they've seen the Blue Beetle in this neighborhood late at night.
What?
Would you be knowing anything about that?
Well, I rarely go out at night. I spend most of my time in my laboratory.
Is that it back there, that room?
Yes.
I never saw one of them things. You mind if I take a look at it?
Well, I'd rather you... you see, I'm making some experiments.
I won't touch anything, Doc. I just want to look. Well, of all the...
What is it? What do you see?
So, that's a laboratory. What a place.
Yes, that's the laboratory.
Must be great to have brains like you, Doc. Well, so long, I've got to be going. Tell Danny I was in.
Yes, I will, Mannigan. Good night, and keep your eyes open for the Blue Beetle. Danny, where are you? Right beside you. What? Yes, when I heard Mannigan outside, I quickly coated myself with your new formula. When he looked into the laboratory, I was standing right in front of him. Well, that certainly was a great test. But the effects are beginning to wear off. I can see a slight tinge of the Blue Beetle armor shining through. Hey, Doc, I've got to be on my way. I'd like to take some of this liquid along with me and use it tonight. All right, Danny, all right. But be careful. Remember, the effects fade away quickly. Thanks, Doc. Say, those racketeers will get the surprise of their lives when they hear the Blue Beetle but can't see him. You better hurry, Danny. It's about closing time for the carnival.
Yeah. The Blue Beetle will have to really ride the night wind tonight.
What will the Blue Beetle do over at John Doerr's carnival? Will he run head-on into a band of slot machine crooks? Can he again make himself invisible with Dr. Fran's magic formula? On through the night speeds the Blue Beetle in his fast motor car. As he nears the carnival, he parks his car in a hidden spot and approaches John Doerr's tent on foot.
So you won't sign up, eh?
No, not for any crooked schemes like yours.
Okay, it's your funeral, Doerr. Work on him, Frenchie. How about it, Doerr?
The answer is still no.
Give it to him again, Frenchie. So you won't sign, eh? Well, here's some more of the same.
The Blue Beetle. Yes, the Blue Beetle.
Oh, there is no Blue Beetle here. It's a trick. Doerr's got a phonograph planted someplace.
That's so. Well, here's something planted, and it wasn't a phonograph.
Oh, hey, Frenchie, what is it?
Me, I do not know. I see nothing. Well, maybe you can see stars.
Come on, let's get out of here before I go up me nuts. I can't fight ghosts.
Wait a minute. Let me help you on your way with my foot. Now get going, both of you. And if the Blue Beetle ever sees you again, I'll blast you wide open.
Come on, Frenchie. We got to tell the boss about this.
Are you all right, Dora? I don't know. I can't see you. Am I blind? No, Dora, you're not blind. Now do as I tell you. Phone police headquarters and report what just happened. All right. I will. And don't worry. The Blue Beetle's on the job. I'm going to trail those men. Maybe they'll lead me to their hangout. Now get going. The Blue Beetle's got a lot of nipping to do.
Will the Blue Beetle catch up to the thugs who are beating John Doerr? What about the invisible paint? Will it wear off before the Blue Beetle reaches his destination? What will he find when he gets there? Out of the carnival grounds dashed the Blue Beetle, just in time to see the two thugs drive off in a long sedan. Jumping into his own car, the Blue Beetle gave chase until out on the river road.
Those thugs are taking the road that leads to the old haunted house. That must be the headquarters. I'll have to take a chance. My invisible paint is wearing off. I'll force them off the road, and they'll have to stop. All right, you thugs. Hop out and make it snappy.
It's the Blue Beetle.
Oh, I can see him now.
Come on, let's get him.
This time we know fight ghosts. Come on, me hearties. I'll take you both at once. That's for Old Man Doerr. And that's for law and order.
Settle up, Frenchie, settle up. Keep him in the air.
Oh, no, you won't, Frenchie. That'll take care of you.
Put up your hands, Blue Beetle, or I'll drill you so how...
Not tonight, you won't. Here's a face full of knuckles for you.
Oh.
Well, he's done for a while. Let's see, I'd better not use my invisible paint. I may need the little that's left to use later. How can I get into that house up there?
I think I'll just take one of these thugs over here and...
What are the Blue Beetle's plans? Is the haunted house the headquarters of the crooked slot machine racketeers? Let's look in on this weird and mysterious-looking place.
Look through the peephole and see who that is, Snag.
Okay. It's Croker and Frenchie.
All right, raise the iron panel and admit them.
Okay. Hello, Chief. Me and Frenchie's back.
Yeah, so I see. What have you to report?
Well, Frenchie and me, we went to see old man Dewar like you told us, and we gave him the works. But he wouldn't sign up for the machines.
Did you tell him the Duke sent you?
Sure, boss.
Why didn't you use further persuasion?
We was just going to, and suddenly there was a funny humming sound and a crackle.
Go on.
Well, from out of the air, a voice what said he was the Blue Beetle told us to lay off the old man.
Was it dark?
No, it was light enough, but we couldn't see nobody but the old man.
Go on. Then what happened?
The Blue Beetle started slapping us around.
Ah, ridiculous. You must have been drunk.
On me word, Chief. We were sober to judge. Am I right, Frenchie?
Oui, it is as you say.
Huh? What's the matter, Frenchie? Why don't you raise your head?
Oh, my neck, she is hurt. The Blue Beetle, he hit me hard.
Yeah, like I said, Chief. When we couldn't see no one to fight, we beat it out of there. But the Blue Beetle followed us in his car, and just down the road here, he forced us over the side, and we had to stop. Then he rushed us, and before we could plug him, he conked us both on a bean, and we passed out. When I come to, I was in the car, and Frenchie here was driving.
And the Blue Beetle?
He had disappeared.
A likely story, Croker. Suppose you step aside. I want to talk to Frenchie.
He'll tell you the same story. Gee, boss, we got to be ready. The Blue Beetle may be here any minute.
Yeah, the Blue Beetle is here.
What do you mean?
Frenchie, take off that hat and coat.
Gee, the Blue Beetle himself, disguised as Frenchie.
Yes, the Blue Beetle, and he is
Stand where you are, Blue Beetle. I've got you covered.
Put away that gun. You can't injure the Blue Beetle.
The Blue Beetle seems fond of appearing and disappearing.
Every time he does appear, another bunch of rats are brought to justice.
I'm happy at last to have met the Blue Beetle face to face. But I regret that the meeting must be so brief. I have seen you. I wish to see you no more, so... Down you go, Blue Beetle, through the trapdoor into my subterranean sewer. You'd like to chase rats, as you call them. Well, you can get your stomach full of them down there. Maybe they'll turn the tables and chase you, Mr. Blue Beetle. Hi.
Yeah?
You and Croker close the trapdoor.
Sure, boss. Yeah, sure. Anything you say, boss.
Now, listen to me. You'd better get this straight with no bungling if you don't want to join the Blue Beetle.
Not me, boss. It was Frenchie's fault the other time. He didn't slug the old man hard enough before the Blue Beetle showed up.
I don't want any excuses. I want results this time.
Yes, boss.
You go and see John Doerr again. Tell him there's $1,000 a week in it for him if he signs up with us. If he refuses again, tell him the Blue Beetle's dead. Offer to prove it to him by bringing him here. Go easy on him this time. But either get his signature to a contract to install our slot machines at the carnival or bring him out here. Have you got that straight?
Sure, boss.
You better have. Now, one thing more. If you don't come back with Doerr's signature or with Doerr himself, you'll be pushing up daisies when spring comes round again.
Hey, listen, boss. That's a cop. Yeah. How did they find out?
You stupid fool. You must have left a trail a mile wide.
No, boss. Nobody saw us but the Blue Beetle.
You hide, Croker. Behind that screen over there. They'll get nothing on me. I'll meet them. Snag, you stand by.
Okay, boss.
Open up the name of the law.
Snag, raise that iron panel.
Yeah, sure.
All right, boys. You got your guns? Here we go. Come on.
Good evening, gentlemen. Calling rather late, aren't you?
The law's on the job 24 hours a day.
Well, that's admirable. Something wrong?
Yes, you.
Me? What have I done?
Your thugs have tried to kill an old man, and you were trying to install your crooked slot machines at the carnival.
I assure you, you've made a mistake, Sergeant.
I ain't, Sergeant. It's plain Officer Mannigan, and we ain't made no mistake. The Blue Beetle phoned us 10 minutes ago.
Now I know you're mistaken, Officer Mannigan. The Blue Beetle couldn't have phoned you.
The Blue Beetle.
Yes, the Blue Beetle.
It must be a ghost. The Blue Beetle.
No, not dead.
Just invisible.
No, it can't be. I saw him drop down that...
Well, what's that you're trying to say? He's trying to tell you, Manigan, that he saw me drop to my death through that trapdoor you're standing on.
Holy Moses, I never noticed it. How'd you get off quick? Hey, where are you, Blue Beetle?
I'm here, there, everywhere a criminal tries to hide.
Let me out of here. Let me out of
Not
here.
till you confess to this crime.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, confess, you crook, or I'll choke it out of you.
No. Take me away from here. Take me to police headquarters. I'll confess. Only don't let the Blue Beetle's ghost get me.
All right, boys, put the handcuffs on.
All right, Manigan.
Very good work, Blue Beetle, wherever you are, and thanks. But don't forget, someday I'm going to catch up with you. And when I do, I'm going to run you in just on general principles.
That's okay with me, Manigan. But remember, you first got to catch me. So long, Manigan. Give my regards to the commissioner.
And so the Blue Beetle broke up another racket that was preying on unsuspecting amusement seekers. What happened when he fell through the trap door? How did he escape from his living tomb? Let's look in on Dr. Fran's little apothecary shop, where Patrolman Dan Garrett is relaxing after a strenuous night.
Oh, Danny boy, you sure have luck, don't I? You know, when I felt myself falling, I twisted myself so I landed on my feet. The twist must have thrown me to one side so that instead of landing on the concrete floor, I landed in a fairly deep stream of water that pours under the cellars of that haunted house. Remarkable. Wasn't it? What did you do then? Well, I let myself be carried along by the stream, keeping my head above water whenever I could.
And how far did it carry you?
Oh, about 500 feet underground. When I came up in the open, I quickly covered myself with your invisible paint, rushed back to the house, and entered with the police.
Excuse me a minute. Someone's out front in the store.
Hello, Doc. I wanted some quinine.
My youngster's got a touch of the flu.
Dear, I'm sorry to hear that. Just a minute. Here you are. That will be 10 cents.
Here's a quarter. Say, did you hear? That mysterious killer on horseback has killed another cop.
Another one? That makes the 6th in as many days. Oh, here's your change.
Thanks. Yep. Strange the police can't seem to do nothing about it.
Well, here's one policeman that's going to do something about it, and right now.
Oh, so it's Patrolman Dan Garrett,
Yeah. So long, Doc. If Manigan calls, I'm over at police headquarters.
What is this new scourge that has struck the city? 6 policemen shot in 1 week by a mysterious horseman. Undoubtedly a strange, deadly maniac. Will Dan Garrett run him to earth? Or will it take the Blue Beetle to avenge these deaths? These questions will be answered in the next episode of The Blue Beetle.
Don't tell our listeners that it's okay as long as they don't have cancer, AIDS. To be nice to our listeners.
Well, he said he had a touch. He said he had a touch of Ebola. So I said, well, as long as you don't have cancer, AIDS.
Ebola's worse than. Well, no, it's not. But
no, it's not.
Ebola's still bad.
It is, but it could always be worse. I was trying to make him feel better. I hope you feel better, Ipsel.
That's the right thing to say. It was funny. It was funny, but I'm not going to fire you yet. I've been trying not to fire you as much.
And I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I think it was Ixel was the one who tweeted me and said, he said, "Get better internet, wanker." So,
well, he's not wrong.
Well, besides the point.
Oh shit. Couple of fast facts. This is Blue Beetle Dan Garrett, but not the Dan Garrett with 2 T's that actually trained Ted Cord. This is the Dan Garrett with one T that had a sidekick named Sparky. I want everybody to...
So he's low on T, is what you're saying?
You're just trying at this point. You heard that I'm not trying to fire you as often, and you're just fucking with me. You're just poking, and you're going to poke. And I'm going to cut the cord to your tin can.
You can't set a feast on a silver platter like that in front of me and not expect me to bite into it.
Yeah, I suppose I can't. I'm just the one that's used to being the asshole.
Well, see, I'm a smart ass. So, there's a slight distinction there.
There really isn't. I mean, we like to say that there is, but there really isn't. No, smart ass is the exact definition of an asshole. It's just an asshole that's somewhat intelligent. Anyway, with that said, episode 2 coming up, folks. Got Death Strikes from the East. So this seems.
And where's our damn dynamite? Come on, Blue Beetle.
The one that I wanted to play now is not the one. I want to play Death Rides on Horseback. That's the next one sequential. We're gonna listen to that one instead. I've got this under control. Okay, you just let me handle this.
Allegedly.
So they say.
The Blue Beetle. Sweeping down upon the underworld of smash gangland comes the mysterious, all-powerful character who is a problem to the police, but a crusader for law. In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone, but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle. As the Blue Beetle, he hides behind a strange mask and a suit of impenetrable blue chain armor, flexible as silk, but stronger than steel.
Today's episode of The Blue Beetle is entitled Death Rides on Horseback. Every man on the force has sworn vengeance against this mysterious killer. Patrolmen in pairs patrol their beats, but always the killer marks his victims, shoots him down, and gallops away to a secret hiding place in the vast wilderness of the city park. Can no one track him down? Is there no one to put an end to this one-man blitzkrieg? What is his motive? As our story opens, Patrolman Dan Garrett, who is also the Blue Beetle, is with his friend and advisor, Dr. Franz, in his apothecary shop.
Danny, what are you going to do? I'm going to get that killer if it's the last thing I do.
Be careful, Danny. You know this mysterious killer shoots policemen on sight.
I know that. But he'll have to be pretty quick on the draw to beat Manigan and me.
I'd feel easier about you if you were dressed in your blue chain armor of impenetrable steel.
Well, so would I, but first I've got to meet this mysterious horseman in the uniform of a police officer. Manigan and I are going to take a little jaunt through the park in a patrol car.
Well, you'll be best, Danny.
But be careful. I will, Doc. Well, I've got to be moving along. I'm meeting Manigan at headquarters at 10 o'clock. Nearly that now. So long, Doc. I'll see you later.
Well, as I see it, Danny, this mysterious killer may be the Blue Beetle.
What makes you think that?
I don't know. It's sort of a hunch I have.
But the Blue Beetle has never been a killer. At least not of the forces of law and order.
That's true, but still he's always working undercover. He may not be the killer, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn he is in cahoots with him.
He's got the Blue Beetle on the brain.
Maybe so. But someday I'm going to land that baby and...
Hey, what's that stoplight ahead? It's changing.
Okay. Danny, will you see if you can find me keys on the floor there? I think they slipped out of my pocket when I got in the car.
Okay. No, I don't see anything.
All right, cover. Is your turn, miss? Oh, you got me, Danny. The killer.
Where, Manigan?
In the neck and shoulder. I didn't have time to draw my
I
gun.
wasn't even looking. Those keys of yours.
Yes, I know, Danny.
Here, Here, move over this way. Let me slip under the wheel.
Where are you going?
I'm going to drive you to the hospital first, and then
No, I'm not hurt bad. Let's get out to that baby that just winged me.
Well, are you sure you can hold out?
Sure I can.
Well, okay then. Here we go.
Off through the park sped the police car after the murdered horseman. Twice the two policemen spied him galloping across the great lawn and around the reservoir. But each time they tried to cut him off, he changed direction, and finally he disappeared. Late that night, at the little apothecary shop.
Dr. Friend. Hey, Dr. Friend, where are you? Oh, hello, Danny. Well, what's up? I just ran into the killer and... you're not hurt? No, he got Manigan, though. Dead? No, nothing serious, they said at the hospital. Flesh wounds, that's all. How did it happen? Well, we stopped for the traffic lights in the park. I was looking for Manigan's keys on the floor of the car when suddenly the killer appeared out of nowhere, started firing, and then dashed away in his horse. We gave chase, but lost him in the woods. Well, what are you going to do now? The Blue Beetle is going to nip this killer and nip him good. Your chain armor and mask is in the back room there. I rather expected you'd be needing them tonight. Thanks, Doc. And is my equipment in that secret place in my belt? Yes. Everything is complete. Fine. I borrowed a horse from the stables of the mounted squad when no one was looking. He's outside now. As soon as I get into my Blue Beetle armor, there'll be another mysterious horseman in the park. But this one will ride as an avenging angel.
Will the Blue Beetle catch the mysterious killer on horseback? What will happen when these two horsemen meet? Can Dan Garrett as the Blue Beetle avenge the death of his brother officers on the police force? Let's look in on the editorial rooms of the York City Chronicle.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, that's the Chronicle. Okay, give it to me over the phone.
Charlie, I'm worried about Joan Mason.
She's out on this mysterious killer case.
Yeah. I didn't assign her to it. In fact, I tried to discourage her, but she insisted she was tired of writing about gardens and babies and society chit-chat. That she craved action.
She'll get action if she runs into the killer.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. I've got a couple of our men tracking her just in case.
She's got the stuff reporters are made of, or I don't know anything about her.
I guess you're right. Frank speaking. What? What? No sign of her since she what? Say, I told you not to let her out of your sight. I don't care what happens. Get back there and find that Mason girl and bring her in with you, or don't come back. What's happened? That was one of the men I sent to trade Joe. He says he saw her disappear behind some bushes at the foot of a cliff in the wildest part of the park. And when he got up to that point, there was no one in sight. Just then he heard hoofbeats approaching. He hid and saw a horseman dash by him, and he... What do you make of it? I don't know. But I'm going to call the commissioner and give him this information. We've got to find that girl.
What has happened to Joan Mason? Who was the mysterious horseman Editor Crane mentioned? Was it the fiendish killer, or was it the Blue Beetle? In the still of the night, a lone horseman steals along one of the park's many bridle paths. Suddenly, he draws rein.
I wonder who that is ahead there, silhouetted against the sky. It may be a mounted officer, or it may be... He's moving off, down toward that traffic light on the highway. Let's go, Bright Star. Go up there. You can't escape me. Empty your gun. You can't injure the Blue Beetle. Oh, it's the Blue Beetle. Try and catch me. I'm gaining on him. Now for a leap to his back. There. All right, killer. I've got you. Pull up or I'll choke the life out of you. I can't stop this boss. He's running away. Give me those reins. I tell you, you can't stop him now. And I'll turn him. He's heading right for that cliff. Here, we're going to kill him. Not yet. I've stopped you, and I'm not going to leave you. If you want to die, all right. Here we go. Here goes.
What happened? Did the Blue Beetle, riding behind the killer on the killer's horse, ride to his death against the side of the rugged cliff? In a cavernous hall, a masked figure stands over the prostrate form of the Blue Beetle.
At last, I have the pleasure of entertaining the Blue Beetle in my secret hideout.
What happened? Where am I?
You're in a subterranean hideout. My trained horse stopped short as we entered, and you flew over his head and landed on yours.
But the rock wall.
It opened to receive us. There's a secret entrance controlled by photoelectric cells, set up high in 2 trees outside. Only a tall person on horseback passing between that can break the circuit which opens the secret entrance.
Very ingenious. And now?
Now I wish to talk with you. That's why I have you there in that cell. Why I led you into this rest house.
Rest house?
Yes. The Blue Beetle has been so active recently that we feel he should have a rest. Perhaps a permanent rest.
Yes, I see. You say we. Then you are not in this alone.
By no means. I'm only an agent. A special agent of a very powerful political ring who wish to discredit the present commissioner of police and put in their own.
You think that murdering a policeman in cold blood, as you have done, will discredit him?
Listen. Cops killed my brother. I hate cops. If you were a cop, I'd have shot you down like a dog.
You're insane.
No, ambitious.
For what?
Power.
What can you hope to gain by murdering policemen?
Cops are $1 a dozen. They'll never be missed. But if we can make the citizens lose confidence in the present administration, we can put our own men in command of the city.
You'll never put it over.
Who'll stop us?
The Blue Beetle.
What? So where you are, in that cell? Don't make me laugh. Listen. You think you're smart because you cleaned up a few so-called big shots. You never even got near the top. Why, when I'm commissioner of police... Yes, me. The political power I represent has promised me the job. There's only one person standing in my way.
Who?
You. I'd have put you out of the way long ago. But Scarlatti...
So it's Scarletti that's behind all this.
Yes. I don't think for a minute you'll ever have a chance to spill the beans unless you agree to come in with us. You'll end your career in this little cell. The chief admires you and can use you. He wants you to be on our side. He wants you to lay off his friends. Now, there's plenty of dough in it for all of us, and you'll get yours. I don't think you can agree to work with us and then double-cross us. We'll be wise to any trick you try to pull.
I see. When does Scarlatti want his answer?
Take your time. There's no hurry. Take a week to rest up here. You've been pretty active recently. You need the rest. Of course, there's no food here, no drinking water. Unless I open this valve to the park reservoir and flood your cells. But what's a little thing like that to the Blue Beetle?
The answer is no. Go ahead, do your worst. Tell Scarletti that I say there's not enough money in the United States Mint to buy the Blue Beetle. I'll get Scarletti and others like him, no matter how high I have to fly.
All right. I'll take your message to Scarletti, but when I return, you won't be alive to hear his answer. Now let's see you swim out of this, Mr. Blue Beetle.
What will happen to the Blue Beetle now? Can he escape from this subterranean prison before the water reaches the level of his mouth? What has become of Joan Mason, the girl reporter who vanished just outside the secret hideout? Far away in another part of the city, Dr. Franz is working in his laboratory.
Strange, I haven't heard from Danny. I hope he hasn't... Ah, that must be Danny now. Hello?
Hello, have you, Doc? Can you hear me all right through this portable wireless telephone?
Yes, Danny. Where are you?
I'm imprisoned in an iron cell below ground somewhere in City Park. I'll tell you more about it later.
What can I do to help?
I need some more electric juice in my magic ray machine.
Yes, yes.
If I can get some more juice, I may be able to burn through these iron plates before the water rises too high.
Water rises too high? Are you in danger?
Look, please don't ask questions. Just do as I say. It's your only chance to help me.
All right, Danny. I'll do what I can.
Good. Now hook up that energizer of yours to the radio locator. Bring in the midget antenna and my Blue Beetle helmet and shoot some energy through to me. You know, like you did last time.
Certainly, boy, certainly. Just a minute now. There. There's the locator working. 2 points west. And a half more. That's it. Hello, Danny. Danny, my dial indicates contact.
Okay, Doc. Okay, shoot the juice through.
Here it comes. Hello, Danny. Are you getting anything?
Sure thing, Doc. Coming through fine. The power of my magic ray is building up. Now, look, I'm going to try to burn my way out of here. I have to work above my shoulders. The water's up to my chest already.
Well, hurry, Danny, hurry.
Now, listen, Doc. Listen, here it burns. I'm cutting right through the steel with my magic ray.
Hurry, Danny. Hurry, boy, hurry.
Doc, can you give me a little more juice?
I can't give you any more. You're getting the limit.
Okay, Doc. Okay. The water's up to my neck, but there's only one more side to cut away. Then I'll be able to put...
Danny! Danny! Hello, can you hear me? Answer me, Danny! What's happened? What's happened, Danny?
So, Chief, I turned on the valve and let him drown. I am sorry. He was a clever boy, but too honest. What do you want done with that girl reporter? She must disappear permanently. I'll take care of it. Good. Listen, I am a respectable businessman. Everybody know I'm a respectable. I am a friend to everybody. You are my agent. You take care of things. Someday you'll be police commissioner. Thanks, Chief. And now you go. Take Rocco and a Bugsy with you. No, this way. Nobody must see you leave my house. And remember, if my name is connected with this, you will also disappear permanently.
Meanwhile, in the subterranean hideout, a ghostly figure is stealing up a winding stairway. Ahead of him, a spotlight plays on the wall as he mounts. In the middle of that circle of light is a large blue beetle.
What's that noise?
Let me know! My paper will make it hot for you!
Just a minute. I'll see what I can do for you.
Who are you? The Blue Beetle.
Yes, the Blue Beetle. Who are you?
John Mason of the Chronicle.
How did you get in there?
Some man put me in here. Hey, don't ask questions. Get me out of here. I'm cold and I'm
No,
hungry.
now, take it easy. I'll see if any of the master keys I have will fit. There you are.
Thanks.
Say, you're a good-looking girl.
Never mind the compliments. Let's get out of this place.
First, tell me how you got in.
Well, I told the editor of my paper I wanted to work on this case.
Dangerous work for a girl.
Oh, I love danger.
You must. Go on.
Well, today I saw a horseman disappear in the bushes at the foot of the cliff. When he didn't reappear, I grew suspicious. So tonight I decided to investigate. Just as I pushed my way through the bushes, I heard a horseman coming. I ran along the foot of the cliff. I must have slipped and fallen because the next thing I remember, I was lying at the bottom of the old abandoned bear pit.
Yes? And then what happened?
I noticed a large iron trap door in the floor of the pit. I raised it and found a flight of stairs. It was pitch dark, but I decided I was going to finish what I started. So I descended.
In pitch darkness?
Yes, I've got to show that editor that a woman can make as good a reporter as any man living.
I see. That accounts for it. Go on.
Pretty soon, I turned a corner. I saw a light. By lantern light, a man was reading some documents. He must have heard me because he flashed a spotlight in my eyes. I turned to run, but it was too late. He grabbed me and put me in that room there where you just found me.
How would you like to help me catch the killer? And also get a front-page scoop for your paper.
I love it.
Very well. I think we're going to see some action very soon. You stay hidden until I can get a gun for you. Can you shoot?
Sure, I'm a Texas Ranger's daughter.
Now, I can unlock the girl's cell and bring it down to my office.
Oh, boy, will I. She's a beautiful.
Why, it can't be. Why, he's...
Very much alive and ready to nip.
Buckle. Cover the exit. You mustn't get out of here alive.
We'll see who gets out of here alive, you foul murderer. Your time's up.
Oh, yes? Well, I can still shoot straight.
Your killing days are over. You can't injure the Blue Beetle. Little kick with my foot and you're disarmed. And this, and you're out like a light. Come on, you son, Roscoe or Paco or whatever your name is. You're first.
Hey, boss, you get in from that side. And I'll get him from
And the Blue Beetle will get you both like this, by the throat. I ought to strangle you both, but I'll let the law do that. You and your chief here and the old so reputable Scarletti. There, I'll just knock your heads together. Let go of you and let you fall. Miss Mason, you can come out now.
Oh, I'm already out. I had these men covered with the gun you kicked out of the killer's hand.
That's fine. Now, here's your chance to get a scoop for your paper.
Well,
Do you know Scarletti?
sure. He's the big wine distributor.
Yes, and he's also the top man of the underworld. He's bigger than the Duke, the Octopus, and a lot of others.
Really? That respectable businessman?
The same. If his scheme for political control had clicked, the killer there would have been made commissioner of police.
That murderer?
Yes.
What a diabolical scheme.
Yes, the city would have been systematically robbed and the police made helpless.
Oh, what a story for the Chronicle. What this story will make me.
I hope so.
What are you going to do?
The Blue Beetle has one more call to make tonight.
Hello. I'm a telling you, I'm a respectable businessman. I know. No. How much money? Summertime, I wish I was an also honest. No, I don't want some part of it. Why you not talking to someone like the Adder? He's a crook, but me, I'm a respectable businessman. Goodbye.
The Blue Beetle. Yes, the Blue Beetle, you hypocrite.
Why you come here? I'm a respectable...
Yes, I know you're a respectable businessman to most of the world, but not to the Blue Beetle.
What do you mean? You know Canopy. That's the noise.
That's the law. Coming for you, Scarletti.
No.
Yes, your sins have found you out. Your candidate for police commissioner is already a prisoner. Incriminating documents connecting you with many murder projects and underworld rackets are in the hands of the York City Chronicle and will be published. Put down that gun, Scarletti. It's too late, folks. Oh. You choose suicide rather than face the music. Well, your death will help to clean up a lot of racket.
Open up in the name of the law and open this door.
Break it in, Patrolman Manigan. The Blue Beetle has a present for you.
All right, Blue Beetle. All right, I've got you covered.
Wait. He's gone. Hey, Manigan. Look on the floor there.
He's wounded.
There's a note pinned to his body.
Yes. It says, Scarletti, king of the underworld. A present from the Blue Beetle to Detective Manigan.
Again, the Blue Beetle has crossed swords with gangland and come off the winner. Can the great city now rest in peace? Will the criminal element lie low now that their hypocritical chief has been unmasked? Let's look in on Dr. Fran's little apothecary.
Well, Danny, you certainly had me worried when your voice was suddenly cut off in that flooded cell.
Well, that was a close call. The water rose to the level of my mouth just as I finished cutting a way out of it. So I had to swim underwater to the stairway, but when I reached that, I was safe.
Well, now, Danny, you'd better get some rest. It's almost daylight. You can turn in on the couch.
Oh, thanks, Doc. I think I will.
Excuse me. Hello? Who? Dan Garrett? Yes. Yes, he's here. Oh, Danny, it's for you.
Okay. Hello? Dan Garrett speaking. Oh, hello, Manigan. You did? Gee, that was great. You ought to get a promotion. Huh? Insurance racket. Well, that sounds like an interesting assignment. The commissioner wants to see me at 8 o'clock in his office? Okay, I'll be there. Good night. Sorry, Doc, I can't stay with you. I've got to get home and lay out my dress uniform. I'm due at the commissioner's office in a few hours, and I've got to look my smartest. So long, Doc. There's no rest for the law.
And so Dan Garrett gets ready for a new assignment. What will develop in the insurance racket? What new dangers will he face? Can it be that there are still some criminal masterminds at work in the great city? These questions will be answered in the next episode of The Blue Beetle.
So, the Blue Beetle. You stepped away for a minute and you came back right in the middle of the Italian slur. Is that appropriate?
Yes, it was man, these old radio shows.
well, don't give up now. The next one is specifically.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, the next one is specifically about
Chinese. Please tell me it's Chinese.
Death strikes from the east.
Well, let's just real quick aside. Did you see that video of the Hong Kong protester? What he said to Trump about China?
No.
A reporter for I think it's the Rebel from Canada was there and asked this protesters like, do you have any messages for Trump? This Hong Kong protester goes like, yes, Trump, don't trust China. China is asshole.
Fantastic.
I left. So I watched it like 4 times because it was so funny.
Yeah, that seemed pretty good. Let's find out if Death Strikes from the East is a little blue, as you say. Let's see. Let's see what Death Strikes from the East is about. I bet it's ninjas.
Could be ninjas. That would be fun.
I think it's ninjas.
I hope it's I hope it's ninjas with dynamite.
Oh yes, or at least like smoke bombs, something that blows up.
Yeah,
grenades.
Yeah, I'll take smoke bombs, but I'm hoping for dynamite.
I think the smart money is on dynamite. Let's see.
The Blue Beetle. Sweeping down upon the underworld to smash gangland,
The friend of the unfortunate, enemy of criminals. A mysterious, all-powerful character, a problem to the police, but a crusader for law. In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle. As the Blue Beetle, he hides behind a strange mask and a suit of impenetrable blue chain armor, flexible as silk but stronger than steel. Today's episode of The Blue Beetle is entitled Death Strikes from the East.
In the city's Chinatown, sons of the Orient are restless, uneasy. The police department expects war between rival tongues to break out at any moment and is prepared. What is behind this uneasiness? Is it something that concerns only the Chinese? Or is there an Occidental hand at work, pulling the strings like a phantom puppeteer? As our story opens, Patrolman Dan Garrett, who in secret is the Blue Beetle, discusses the situation with his friend and confidant, Dr. Franz, in his little apothecary shop.
You know, Doc, leaning here on this counter, it's hard to realize that you and I are only a few city blocks away from the Orient.
You're referring to Chinatown?
Yeah. I wish I knew what was going on down there.
Do you think rival towns are about to war on each other?
Nope, I don't.
Then what do you think is causing this unrest the newspapers speak of?
Fear and resentment.
Resentment? Of whom? Of us. You mean the police?
No. The white race.
But what have we done to them? We don't molest them.
No, it isn't that. I think there's some sort of a racket going on down there.
Are you going to do anything about it?
Well, I'm going to ask the chief to assign me to a beat in Chinatown.
You'd better be careful, Danny. You could disappear down there and no one would ever find you.
Oh, I'll be careful, all right. I've got a friend down there.
A Chinese?
Yeah. Restaurant keeper, Ling Wan. Cultured gentleman. I saved his life once, and he's never forgotten.
I'd imagine he could be very helpful.
Well, I've got to run down to headquarters now. Maybe Manigan and I can both get assigned to that district.
Well, good luck to you, Danny boy.
Thanks, Doc. So long. Patrolman Dan Garrett is headed for the Orient.
You know, Johnny, it's a wonder to me there ain't more big fires down here in Chinatown.
Why, Mike?
Well, everything's so congested. How's a fire engine ever going to get through here?
Well, I'd be willing to bet that if I should sound the siren on this car, we'd have a clear track ahead almost immediately.
Yeah, them babies can certainly scatter in a hurry. Hey, what's that now?
That bug smashing up that Chinese restaurant. Come on, Manigan. That looks like Ling Wan's place.
Okay. Hey there, you hearing, Serpent? Lay off or I'll blast you. All right, pipe down. Where's the guy what done this?
The whirlwind has struck. Who knows whither the whirlwind goeth?
Hey, what kind of talk is that? Whirlwind me eye, it was a bunch of hoodlums.
Hello, Ling Wan.
Ah, my friend, the Honorable Dan Garrett. After the whirlwind, the face of the sun appears to spread light upon a dark and dreary scene.
I'm afraid the face of the sun has appeared too late to be of any help to you, Ling Wan.
That which has been is done.
Yeah, but we're the law, and we want to know who done it.
Ling Wan, this is my friend and brother officer, Mike Manigan.
The devastation which is mine is honored by the presence of a friend of the brave and honorable Dan Garrett.
Well, now, we'd like to get the facts in this case.
Suppose you let me talk with Ling Wan, Manigan, or you make a report on this. I've had a hunch something like this was happening frequently here in Chinatown. You say, Ling Wan, that if a merchant refuses to pay tribute money to the one you call the Purple Dragon, or to buy his merchandise through him, his shop is wrecked as yours was just now?
That is true, my friend. The Purple Dragon controls the commerce of Chinatown.
But what happens if the merchant still refuses to deal with the Purple Dragon after his place of business is wrecked?
Some member of his family disappears. If it is an elder son, he meets the hatchet man in some dark street. If a younger son, he is found strangled. If the merchant has only daughters, one of them is kidnapped and offered as a human sacrifice to please the Tibetan earth goddess.
Do you mean to say that they're actually sacrificed? Killed?
There is a ceremonial conducted by the Purple Dragon, which includes human sacrifice. Before the ceremony, however, the victim's hair is cut off and sent to her parents. If a sufficient amount of money is paid, the victim is released.
Good Lord, Ling Wan. Why haven't the police been informed of this?
One does not seek certain death needlessly. The Purple Dragon spies are everywhere.
Well, Ling Wan, you're taking a great risk in having me in your home. But I assure you something will be done immediately to end this state of affairs. Who is this Purple Dragon? Have you any idea? He must be a powerful Oriental.
There is a growing suspicion that the Purple Dragon is not of our race, but of yours.
What? A white man?
I am sorry to say it, my friend, but it is so.
Well, Dan Garrett is going to do something about that. And he's starting right now. I've sworn to uphold the law, to serve justice, to drive every crooked racketeer from this city. This extortion racket must be smashed. Doc, I've never heard of such a fiendish method of extracting money from honest businessmen.
And you say Ling Wan believes the Purple Dragon to be a white man?
That's right.
He must be a very rich man.
Yes, I imagine there are very few who refuse to pay tribute or to purchase their supplies through that crook.
Well, so far as you know, the Purple Dragon has confined his extortion activities to Chinese merchants.
Yes. I feel certain that if his operations extended beyond the confines of Chinatown, the police would have heard of it.
I wonder what the extra's about.
Well, just a minute, Doc. I'll buy a paper.
Read all about it. Commissioner Warren's daughter kidnapped.
Here you are, boy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Read all about it.
Well, what do you know about this, Doc?
Well, what is it, Danny?
Commissioner Warren's daughter was kidnapped last night as she left a dance at the casino.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes, the Commissioner of Markets.
I wonder what's back of that. The kidnappers can't expect to get much money out of Warren. He's not wealthy.
No, and he's one of our most efficient officials. Say, you don't think...
Well, what is it, Danny?
I'm going over to Commissioner Warren's house and make a little investigation. Hey, what's that?
Someone just threw a stone through the store window.
Oh, here it is. There's a note tied to it.
Well, what does it say, Danny?
Says, devastating tornado descend upon honorable place of business. If inquisitive patrolman Garrett extend nose into Chinatown. And it's signed the Purple Dragon.
Let me see that note.
Yeah. Apparently written with a brush, such as Chinese use.
Yes. But it wasn't written by a Chinese.
What do you mean?
Chinese writing is distinctive. The technique of Chinese brush writing is such that even if the Chinese were writing in English, the brush marks would be distinctively Chinese. This note was written by a man who at one time might have lettered addresses on shipping cases. A shipping clerk, I would say.
Well, that's very interesting, Doc.
And the Purple Dragon, or whoever writes his notes for him, is a white man.
Well, Doc, this note spikes my guns. I can't endanger you and your business.
Oh, don't be silly, Daddy. Don't be silly. Your duty comes first. I can take care of things here. And just let somebody start something. There are things in my laboratory back there that will make them wish they'd stayed away.
Well, I've got to be going, Doc. Take care now and don't worry. I'm not going to Chinatown. My next call is in the opposite direction. Commissioner Warren, I've been assigned by the police commissioner to do a little investigating in this case.
Yes, I'm glad you have, my boy.
I'd appreciate any information you could give me, Commissioner.
I'll give you what I can.
Have you any enemies?
Yes, plenty of them. In my position, there are bound to be individuals and groups who resent my interference with their attempts to extort money from the firms that do business with the city.
Oh, there is an extortion racket.
Well, yes. At least I am convinced that many merchants are paying out money to protect their goods and places of business from destruction.
In Chinatown, for instance?
Why, yes. How did you know?
I have a friend in Chinatown.
I see. Well, to be frank with you, I've been conducting a quiet investigation down there.
You think your daughter's kidnapping is in retaliation?
I'm certain it is.
Why?
This note.
I received it about an hour ago. Here, read it. The Tibetan earth goddess is angry. You are interfering with her plans. Unless you cease your efforts, you will never see your daughter again. Signed, the Purple Dragon. This note was written by a white man also. Beg pardon, what did you say? Oh, I said this note was written...
Excuse, please. Messenger leave package for Honorable Commissioner.
Thanks, Ling Chow. Who was it?
Ling Chow, no see. Messenger, push button, leave package on doorstep, run away.
All right, Ling Chow, you may go. Better not open that, Commissioner. Might be a time bomb or some type of infernal machine that'll explode when opened. It doesn't feel heavy enough. Any sound of ticking? Not that I can hear. Let me have that package. I'll open it. You stand over there. Now be careful, Garrett. Boss can't afford to lose men like you know. Thanks, Commissioner. Well, here goes. What is it? A box full of golden hair. My daughter. Her hair is that color. You don't think that... Oh, no, she's not dead yet, but something will have to be done quickly, and I'm going to do it. What are you going to do, Dan? I've got a hunch, and I'm going to play it. What can I do to help? Call up the Income Tax Bureau and find out, if you can, which 2 or 3 persons in the city showed the greatest increase of income last year. Also, find out anything else you can about them. When you get the information, phone it to Dr. Franz or to me at his shop. I'm certain that one of these persons will prove to be the Purple Dragon. What does Dan Garrett plan to do next? Will his activities draw down upon his good friend Dr. Franz the wrath of the Purple Dragon? What will happen when the Blue Beetle faces the Purple Dragon? Meanwhile, in a room adjoining the auditorium of a little Chinese theater deep within the confines of Chinatown, a group of hard-faced men are receiving instructions from their chief. I want you men to get this straight. There must be no slip-up. At 11:30 tonight, you have Commissioner Warren in this theater, or else. I don't care how you get him here, but get him.
Sure, boys, we'll get him.
Bring him in the back way. Put him in one of the boxes to the left of the stage. Is that clear?
Yeah.
You 2 men stay with him. Tell him if he makes a move to escape, he'll never see his daughter alive again. You got that straight?
Yeah, we got that straight.
Well, and you leave the rest to the Purple Dragon. In Dr. Franz's laboratory, Dan Garrett is donning the mask and blue chain armor of the Blue Beetle.
Oh, Danny, Commissioner Warren called just before you arrived.
Oh, what did the commissioner have to say?
He said the 2 most financially successful men last year were Roger Gillespie, the contractor, and a fellow by the name of Anthony Rondos. Gillespie seems to have made a fortune during the building boom last year, and Rondos apparently made a great success of the importing business.
Rondos is our man, I'm sure of it. Where does he live, did Warren say?
Yes, he recently bought Ridley Home.
I know that place.
Yes, Danny, I know. I remember you visited the house secretly one night while you were making an investigation of Banker Ridley's strange death on the operating table.
That's the place. Well, that'll be the Blue Beetle's first call tonight. So long, Doc. Yes, this is Rondos. What's that? Now, listen, Maisie. I won't be able to see you tonight. I'm going with some of the boys to a show. A Chinese masquerade. What? Why, I'm going as the Purple Dragon. Yeah, ain't that something? Yeah. Yeah, well, goodbye. I got to get going. The Blue Beetle. Yes, Mr. Purple Dragon, alias Tony Rondos, extortionist and blackmailer, the Blue Beetle. Oh, you're wise to my racket, eh? And I'm going to end your racket tonight. That's what you think.
But no one is going to end my racket tonight or any other night. I'll not bother to shoot. Your bullets can't pierce this chain armor I'm wearing. The Blue Beetle is... Oh, my throat. Good work, Wang Pao. Pull the silken cord tighter around the Blue Beetle's neck. That's enough. He's gone under. Let him drop. Is the Blue Beetle dead? I don't know, but tie him up and throw him in the vault downstairs. Oh, here. Here's $100. Buy yourself a new opium pipe. I'm going down to Chinatown. I'll deal with the Blue Beetle later.
I demand to know where you're taking me.
To see your daughter, Commissioner Warren.
Where is she? Where have you hidden her? If you've harmed the hair of her head, I'll see
Don't worry, Commissioner. She ain't dead yet.
Her hair's a little short since the purple dragon cut it off. But that was necessary for the part she's playing tonight.
Part? What part?
She's playing a part in a Chinese play.
What sort of a game is this? My daughter's not an actress. Let me out of here.
Quiet, Commissioner, if you want to see your daughter again. Alive.
All right. What is it you want? The Purple Dragon wants you to resign as Commissioner of Markets.
What? Never. I've sworn to protect the merchants of this city against extortion rackets, and I intend to do it.
Better think it over, Commissioner. This part your daughter's playing is awful dangerous.
Come on, Commissioner. This is the place. In you go. Maybe you'll change your mind when you see the play.
Meanwhile, in his laboratory, Dr. Franz is working on some of his interesting experiments.
Yeah. Now, let's see. 4 cc's of number 17. Someone out front in the store. Coming? You always same Dr. Franz? Yes, I am Dr. Franz. What can I do for you? Tell me, how do I look in this Chinese costume? Why, Danny, bless my soul. You know, for a minute I thought Confucius himself had entered my shop. And my disguise was good. Oh, it's excellent, Danny, excellent. But why is the Blue Beetle dressed as a Chinese coolie? Well, the Blue Beetle is attending a theater party in the old Chinese theater tonight as an uninvited guest. And I think that when the party is over, the Purple Dragon and his extortion racket will be a thing of the past. Anything I can do to help? Yes. I saw among your collection of curios an ugly Chinese warrior's mask. I'd like to borrow it for tonight. Well, certainly, Danny, certainly. I'll get it for you. It's in this chest right over here. I'm going to throw a scare into some real as well as fake Chinese tonight. Here it is. Hey, what an ugly mask. Here, let me put it on. There we are. Now, how do I look? Oh, terrifying. That's good. Well, the stage is set and the audience is waiting. Good night, Doc. The Blue Beetle is playing a new role tonight.
In a dimly lit auditorium, a hushed group of Chinese merchants await the performance they have been ordered to attend. In a box at the left of the stage sits a man, apparently the only Occidental present. Beside him sit 2 grim-looking individuals in Chinese costumes. A strange power seems to hold the audience hypnotized as the curtain begins to ascend and reveals a large altar in the center of the stage, surrounded by lighted candles. Upon the altar is stretched the bound figure of a white girl, shorn of her hair and clad in a white silk kimono, embroidered with a large purple dragon. Before the altar stands a gigantic Chinese, his head covered with a golden helmet and his face hidden behind a cruel, hideous mask. His upraised hands clutch a two-edged sword. Back of him are grouped a dozen tense, muscled Chinese, likewise masked. Suddenly,
mighty Tibetan goddess angry. The white infidel has defied her will, so Tibetan goddess must be appeased. Human sacrifice must be made upon the altar.
No, that's my daughter.
Tibetan goddess, speak again. Have I say death to white maiden?
No, I'll do anything. What is it you demand?
White infidel interfere with priest of Tibetan of goddess. He encouraged Chinese merchants to withhold tribute. I, priest of a dragon, demand you resign from high office.
No, I won't resign. This is a racket. You and your gang have cut out the fingers.
3 times of goddess has spoken. Her verdict is death to white maiden. Only her blood upon this altar will appease of goddess.
The Blue Beetle. Yes, the Blue Beetle. Reincarnation of the Oriental God of final judgment. There's a Blue Beetle, that crazy Chinese mask up here. Oh, he's a fake. The real Blue Beetle is in the vault of my home. When Cow put him there.
Oh, goddess in person. He calls for sacrifice. Oh, goddess, I give you your...
Drop that sword or I'll blast you with my magic ray.
The word of goddess is in ruling. He cannot be touched. Ruling gives us goddess for sacrifice.
Get over you! You ruin our racket. Oh, Bugsy, Vincent, one bang on all of you. Real Chinese, fake Chinese, I can handle you all. This is for you, Bugsy. There goes your masked purple dragon, and here you go. And here comes the police to pick up the pieces. Hey, come on in, get out of here. The cops are... No, you don't. There'll be room for you in the wagon. Look out, Blue Beetle, that Chinese, the sword! That will take care of you. These Chinese devils are tough. Thanks, Commissioner, for the warning. Hey, you merchants and audience. Here's your chance to clean up your own racket. Go do it, China. Clean out the rats that have been infesting your business. No more will the purple dragon take the sword of human sacrifice over your head. He has been unmasked by the Blue Beetle. The Blue Beetle's work is done. And so the Blue Beetle smashed another racket and regained for his fellow citizens the admiration and respect of a grateful people. Later that night, the patrolman Dan Garrett, no longer in the costume of the Blue Beetle, sits in Dr. Fran's laboratory discussing the case with Dr. Fran.
Well, Danny, what gave you your first clue?
The package of hair the commissioner received.
And to think that such things can be. Why didn't some of those Chinese merchants report this racket to the police?
Fear of vengeance. You know, Doc, fear is the greatest enemy of mankind. Back of every hatred, every failure, every broken human relationship.
That's very true, Danny.
Well, Doc, I'm going along now. Got to get some sleep sometime.
That's true. Patrolman Dan Garrett has to rest if the Blue Beetle wants to fly.
Good night, Doc. I'll drop in tomorrow and see how you're coming along with that new portable television set you're building.
So, we're back on. I was, it definitely was a dig at the Asians. Current running theory is that the Blue Beetle is a purple dragon. I added mixed with the red lizard after they did the fusion. So,
I mean, those damn Mongolians just keep breaking down the walls. So,
shitty walls. Shitty walls.
Yeah. I mean, really, that really is Trump's end goal. It's not to keep the Mexicans out. It's to protect us from the Mongolians.
Well, I mean, someone needs to.
Just twisted it. Yeah.
Someone needs to. Mongolians are... they're
those
almost worse. Yeah, they're almost worse than the Nebraskans. Or the Norwegians.
Almost.
No offense to any Nebraskans or Norwegians. Unless you're Norwegian from Nebraska, but fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, really, you Norwegians these days, you guys are just getting way too silly.
Well, they try to burn the church down all the time, so can't have that. That's old school lore for the Church of Failure. The Norwegians have tried to burn me down, and that's why I became mobile.
Fair enough.
So, last episode we have for you guys, and this one will play the episode out, is Sea Serpent. Not sure what the overtone on this one is. Don't know if there is any, actually. Ayrton and I have been discussing off air while the show plays of what to do this weekend. For the church has made it one more rotation around the sun stream.
Please tell me that's what we're going to call it.
I think so. The church has rotated around the sun once more. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Sea Serpent and see where that takes us. Hopefully everybody's getting geared up for Recada's stream. He's doing some more Ace Attorney tonight. Those are always enjoyable.
It's always fun to watch a drunk lawyer.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know that he drinks that much when he plays Ace Attorney, though.
Fair enough.
The Blue Beetle. Sweeping down upon the underworld to smash gangland comes the friend of the unfortunate, enemy of criminals. A mysterious, all-powerful character, a problem to the police, but a true state of the law. In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle. As the Blue Beetle, he hides behind a strange mask and a suit of impenetrable blue chain armor, flexible as silk but stronger than steel. Today's episode of the Blue Beetle is entitled The Sea Serpent. Rumors have reached the city that a sea serpent has been ravaging the nearby coast. Already, several bodies have been washed ashore. Each of them has borne the mark of a serpent's fangs. What is behind these rumors? Are they true? Is there really a sea serpent ravaging the coast? Or is there a definite plan on foot to frighten people away from the shore resort? As our story opens, Dr. Franz is listening to the radio while dusting the shelves of his little apothecary shop and awaiting the usual morning call of his young friend, Patrolman Dan Garrett, who in secret is really the Blue Beetle. Morning, Doc.
Oh, hello, Danny. Hey, what's that, a radio? Don't tell me you're going to modernize this quaint little shop of yours. No, it's not that bad. I just thought I'd like to have a little music once in a while. The customers also like to get the baseball scores and the news. Fine. What are you and Mike Manigan doing these days? Any special assignment? No, it's been a little quiet since we chased those racketeers out of Chinatown. What do you think about this sea serpent scare? I don't really know what to think. Are there such things as sea serpents, Doc? Well, the term sea serpent has been associated with huge dragon-like creatures we read about. But as a matter of fact, a serpent can be any size. According to reports, the bodies of these bathers who were bitten showed signs of having been poisoned. That's strange.
We interrupt our regular program to bring you a special news bulletin. Breaker City. The body of another bather was brought ashore by lifeguards this afternoon. The bather, a man about 50, showed signs of distress while swimming about 300 feet offshore. His cries for help
were immediately answered by lifeguards who rushed to his rescue. However, when brought to shore, he failed to respond to efforts at respiration and died on his way to the hospital. Doctors who examined the man reported finding marks upon the man's leg resembling snake bites. They contend that the man did not drown, but died from the effects of poison. Late news dispatches will be given over this station as received. We continue now with our regularly scheduled program.
Very strange. Yes, in fact, I'd say the whole thing looks very fishy to me, if you'll excuse the pun.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Well, our territory doesn't extend beyond the city limits, but I'm going to ask the commissioner to let Officer Manigan and me take a run down to Breaker City and see what we can uncover.
That's a good idea, Danny. The sea air will do you good.
If I go, I'll drop in to see you when I get back.
Are you wearing the poison detector ring I gave you, Danny?
Wouldn't be without it.
You may find it useful on this case. Remember, the stone turns from green to yellow in the presence of poison.
I know. Well, so long, Doc. If I catch a sea serpent, I'll stuff him and bring him back to you.
It's dark driving through these pine woods.
Yes, and the rain doesn't make driving any easier.
You know, it seems kind of strange to be working on a case in cities. They don't feel right somehow. I guess I missed the feel of the police cap and the shine of me police badge.
You still look like a cop, Manigan.
Do I, Danny?
Yeah. Nobody'd ever mistake you for anything but an honest-to-goodness cop.
Well, then that's what I am. And I'm proud of it. Hey, say, there's a light ahead.
Oh, that must be the lake house. Maybe they can put us up for the night. We can drive over to Breaker City in the morning.
Yeah, that's a swell idea. I'll pull in and you run in and see if they can take care of it.
Eh?
Good evening. Kind of wet outside, isn't it?
Yes. Well, weather's the duck.
Yeah, traveling far?
My friend and I are on our way to Breaker City. We saw your lights and decided to stop off for the night. Are you the clerk?
I'm the owner. Own several hotels around the lake here.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Got any accommodations?
Sorry, but we're all filled up.
Business must be good. Or has the rain forced the tourists inside?
Yeah, it isn't the rain. We're having the best season we ever had.
Is that so? I thought the summer resorts were complaining about poor business.
Not here at Pine Manor Lake.
Well, I guess we'll have to keep going.
It isn't far to Breaker City. You'll find plenty of accommodation there.
Well, if you're filled up, they'll be too.
I hardly think so. They're not doing so well this season. This sea serpent scare seems to be keeping people away from the seashore. But one man's misfortune is another man's gain. We seem to be getting the business that usually goes to the seashore.
Is that so? Well, that's very interesting. Good night. I'm more anxious than ever to get to Breaker City.
Say, Danny, this is a swell room they gave us overlooking the ocean and only $4 double.
Yes, we must be the only guest in the hotel.
The lobby is as dead as a museum after closing hours.
How about a bite to eat before we turn in?
That's a good idea. Let's go in the coffee shop here.
Sir? Gentlemen? What'll it be?
Some Java, a piece of apple pie a la mode, and a slice of cheese.
Eh? Yours, mister? Well, my friend here is dieting, but I'm hungry. Bring me a glass of hot milk and a toasted roll.
For such a husky lad, you're a small eater, Danny.
But what I eat makes muscle. Hey, look through that window out there on the boardwalk. Isn't that Joan Mason of the Chronicle?
Yeah. Well, she's coming this way. And there's a man following her. Hey, Daddy, come on.
Take your hands off that girl.
Dan Garrett.
Beat it, Wayne Dare. I'll croak you.
You and who else? Drop that gun.
Oh, yeah? Well, how do you like this?
Oh.
After him, Danny. I can't run. He got me in the leg.
Is it bad?
No, just a flesh wound.
I'd better stay here and look after you and Miss Mason.
Oh, Danny, I was never so glad to see anyone in my life.
Are you all right?
Yes, but what about Officer Manigan here? He can't walk.
I'll be all right if Danny will lend me a shoulder to lean on.
Oh, come on, Mike. We'll get you into the hotel and call a doctor. In the morning, we'll send you back to the city, a wounded hero.
Okay. But right now, I want that piece of apple pie a la mode with cheese and the cup of java.
You say, Joan, you talked with one of the lifeguards who's made several rescues?
Yes, I told him I was investigating the sea serpent story for the Chronicle.
What did he say?
He said that in each case he'd seen something that looked like a serpent's tail lash out of the water just before the victim cried for help.
Well, have you found anyone else who claims to have seen the sea serpent?
No, I haven't.
That's strange.
Yes, isn't it?
Where did you pick up this man who was following you?
In a restaurant on the boardwalk. He came in while I was eating and followed me when I left.
Well, this sea serpent scare is either a practical joker's plan gone haywire, or it's a well-thought-out scheme to ruin the season for Breaker City.
Doesn't look like a joke to me. Mr. Downs, the owner of this hotel, is ready to commit suicide. He's losing thousands of dollars every day.
Well, you better get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
What about Manigan?
Oh, I'll put him on the train and ship him back to the city. The doc said his wound wasn't serious, but he won't be much help to us here.
How about meeting me out on the pier? They're pulling in the nets at sunrise, and they may catch a sea serpent.
I'll be there with some salt for his tail. Hey, we better hurry, Joan. They're starting to haul in the net.
I'm right with you. Oh, there's Mr. Downs. I want you to meet him. Good morning, Mr. Downs.
Oh, hello, Miss Mason.
This is Dan Garrett.
Beautiful day, sir.
Maybe to some people, but not to me.
You seem down in the mouth.
You'd be down in the mouth if everything you'd strive for was gradually slipping away from you.
I understand you're financially interested in Breaker City.
I own the Sunset Hotel, for one thing.
This sea serpent business is making it tough for you.
Tough is not the word.
I'm on a special assignment from the New York City Police Department investigating this case.
Oh, are you? Well, I certainly hope you can clear up this mystery. It's costing us hotel and concession owners thousands of dollars a day to keep open. And there's no business except day excursionists.
Well, I'll certainly do what I can.
Suppose you and Miss Mason come with me. I want you to meet Professor Meredith. He's an authority on fish and such things, and he's in charge here.
I'd like to meet him.
All right, boys. You can begin hauling in the net.
Oh, Professor Meredith.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Downs.
Good morning. I'd like to have you meet Miss Mason of the Chronicle, Mr. Garrett of the York City Police.
Oh, I'm happy to meet you both.
Thank you.
By the way, who's that man standing over there? The one with the dark hair.
Oh, that's Fred Nash, one of the lifeguards.
Yeah, and he's the man.
Yes, I thought I'd seen him before.
I beg your pardon?
I was just telling Miss Mason how long it'll be before you pull up the net.
Oh, they're pulling them up now. In just a moment, we'll discover if our haul contains the sea serpent. All right, men. Bring the net over the pier. And keep the sides up. We don't want to lose any fish. Okay. That's got it. Now roll a little bit. Well, that's quite a haul.
Plenty of variety, Professor.
Aren't those sharks there?
Yes, small ones. There's several skates, weak fish, and camelback.
There's one there that looks like a balloon.
Oh, that's a blowfish.
Well, there's a sea serpent.
Only a Neil, Miss Mason. But a big one. Well, I guess we'll have to try again.
What's the use, Meredith? You won't find anything. You might as well admit we're licked and close up.
I'd give a lot to know just what's out there.
Well, I'm going to find out if it's still there.
Why, what are you going to do?
I'm going to find out if these waters are safe to bathe in.
Mr. Downs, you're not thinking...
Yes, I am. I'm going into that water. If the sea serpent is there and wants human flesh, he can have mine.
That's madness.
What have I got to lose? I have no family. Everything I have is invested in this beach. If I can bathe here, so can everybody else. I'm going to get it over with.
Stop him. He's gone crazy with water.
Hey, you lifeguards, grab him.
Oh, there he goes, right off the pier.
I'm going after him.
No, Dad. There go the lifeguards. Go, Danny.
Keep your eyes on them, everybody. I'm going in, too.
No, Danny, no.
Let go of me, Jones. I'm going out in that rowboat under the pier. Look, Mr. Downs is swimming away from the guard.
He's a strong swimmer. Whatever made him do it?
This thing has played on his mind for a long time.
Look, one of the guards is calling for help.
One of you men run for a doctor. And phone the lifeguard station for a pulmotor.
Look, Mr. Downs has grabbed the lifeguard and...
Something's happened to Downs.
He's let go of the lifeguard and it's sinking. Hurry, get into the boat. Oh, the Serpent's got Mr. Downs. He's got him. I know it.
What is this slimy thing that lurks in the waters off Breaker City? Is it a sea serpent or a poisonous fish? Will Danny solve this mystery, or will the Blue Beetle have to go into action? Time later at the Breaker City Hospital, Dan Garrett and Joan Mason are waiting outside one of the private rooms for Professor Meredith.
How is he, Professor?
Mr. Downs is dead.
Dead?
Yes.
Didn't the pulmotor help him?
Mr. Downs didn't die from the effects of submersion. He died from the effects of a poisonous bite.
Then you think...
There were 2 punctures on Mr. Downs' leg, like those left by the fangs of a fairly large serpent.
No one saw anything in the water.
Strange how the effect of that serpent's bite is exactly like the bite of a cobra. The reactions are identical.
Could it be a water moccasin?
You don't find water moccasins in the ocean, and their venom doesn't work in the same way. It works on the blood. Cobra venom works on the nerve center, paralyzes the muscles, controlling the act of breathing.
Could it be a fish?
I hardly think so. No. The punctures were more like those of a fairly large snake.
There aren't any cobras that live in the water, are there?
The nearest thing I can think of is a serpent which is found in the tropical waters of the Pacific Ocean. But it's never been found in these waters.
Well, I've found out what I want to know.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going back to the city to check with my friend Doc Franz. He may be able to help on this case.
When are you coming back?
I'm not sure.
Well, I think I'll stay a while and see what else I can pick up in this case for my newspaper.
Okay, but keep away from those 2 lifeguards. They're bad medicine.
So you suspect the 2 lifeguards of being implicated in these deaths?
Yes, I do. I'm convinced of it.
What makes you so sure?
All the time I was rowing the boat with the 2 lifeguards and Mr. Downs back to shore, the stone in the poison detector ring was bright yellow.
But perhaps the poison in Mr. Downs' body.
No. You see, after they took him away, the stone was still yellow.
What about the man who tried to abduct Miss Mason and shot Mannigan? Didn't you say he resembled one of the guards?
He was one of the lifeguards, but I didn't let on I recognized him. I didn't want to spoil my chances of getting enough evidence to convict him in this larger case by showing my hand in the case of simple assault.
Very wise, very wise. Well, what are you going to do now?
Put on my Blue Beetle armor and mask and...
I'll answer it. Hello? Patrolman Dan Garrett? Yes. Yes, he's here. It's for you, Danny. Long distance.
Long distance. Probably Joan Mason. Hello? Oh, hello, Professor Meredith. What? Joan Mason has disappeared? But she hasn't checked out of the hotel? Well, I can't get down there myself, but I'll see that several of our best men are sent down right away. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
What's the trouble, Danny?
It looks as if someone had kidnapped Joan Mason. Help me with my Blue Beetle costume, will you, Doc?
Why, certainly, Danny, certainly. Where are you going?
I'm driving down to Breaker City.
But you just told Professor Meredith you weren't coming
That's
down.
right. Dan Garrett isn't. But the Blue Beetle is.
driving down in the moonlight than it was in the rain. Oh, there's somebody walking ahead of me in the road. He's got a long stick and a flashlight. Probably been fishing by moonlight. Want a lift?
Oh, thanks, mister. Gee, you're going to a masquerade in that costume?
Yes. That's the Blue Beetle.
Say, I've heard of the Blue Beetle.
You have, huh? What do people say about him?
Well, they say he's a crusader against crime, and that he's invulnerable.
Probably the truth.
Gee, that's swell. Where are you going?
Oh, I'm taking a ride in the moonlight. Were you going fishing in the moonlight?
No, I'm going home.
Oh. I thought that was a fishing rod you had there.
No, that's for catching snakes. Here, you see the forked end on it?
Oh, yes. Yes, I see it now. What do you do with the snakes?
Sell them.
Sell them?
Mm-hmm.
To whom?
Oh, a couple of fellas back there in the woods.
What do they do with them? Eat them?
Eat them? No, folks don't eat rattlesnakes.
You mean to say you catch rattlesnakes alive and sell them?
Sure. Dead rattlers ain't no good to them fellas.
Say, if I gave you $1, you think you could lead me to the place where these fellows you mentioned live?
Well, sure I can. But you don't have to pay me $1, mister. I'll take you there for nothing.
Okay, son. But you'll get the $1 just the same. I'll turn around at the next crossroads. We'll pay a moonlight visit to your rattlesnake buyers.
So, Miss Mason, it's very unfortunate for you that you got as far as you did with your investigation. I'm sure your newspaper will miss your valuable services.
What are you going to do with me?
Make sure you won't disclose the information you have to anyone.
You can't get away with this.
Oh, you are in error, Miss Mason. We have gotten away with it in the past. We will again. The vacation business has been detoured to Pine Manor Lake. It will still follow that detour after your body is found floating in the ocean, a victim of a poisonous sea serpent.
You wouldn't dare.
Wouldn't dare? Fred, Joe.
Yeah, boss?
Suppose we leave Miss Mason with the Rajah there for a while we step outside. Her education has been neglected. She has never met a 6-foot cobra.
No, you can't do that. You can't.
Raise the lid of his cage and let him...
The Blue Beetle. Yes, the Blue Beetle. He's going to nip harder than your cobra can strike.
Open the cage, Joe, then dive out the window. I've got the Blue Beetle covered with this gun.
Save your bullets. You can't injure the Blue Beetle.
Is that so, wise guy? Well, how do you like this?
Let that be a lesson to you. Never telegraph your punches.
Back up, you Blue Beetle.
No, you don't.
Well, how do you like this, Blue Beetle? A rattlesnake around your neck.
You're a fool. No snake can bite through this chain armor. Here, I give it back to you.
Ah, take him off. He'll kill me.
You're yellow when you're cornered, you murderous crook.
Look out, Blue Beetle. Don't stay over the King Cobra's cage. Get me out of here. Get me out of here.
I'll paralyze him with my magic ray. There, that'll hold him for a while. Now for the one around your neck, Slavitt. There. I should have let you die the agonizing death some of your victims have died.
I'm bitten. I'm poisoned. I'm going to die.
Not by poison, Slavitt. The law will take care of you in the proper manner. Here, Miss Mason, give me a hand. We'll handcuff these lifeguards to the snake's cages. They're still unconscious. Now, put these snakes back in their cages. There.
You certainly have a powerful punch, Blue Beetle.
I need that power. Now, Mr. Slavitt, we'll take care of you.
Keep them away from me. Keep the snakes away from me.
Here, get in this room here.
What are you going to do with me?
Don't let the lightning!
Here, get up on this chair and climb up onto those rafters.
Oh, I can't.
Now, I'll just pull the king cobra's box over here, under you, and open the lid. Then we'll shut the door and let the cobra guard you till the police arrive. I don't think you'll try to escape. Come on, Miss Mason. I'll drop you off at your hotel. You can phone a front-page scoop for your paper.
And the heading will be Sea Serpent Hoax Exposed. Murderous racket smashed by the Blue Beetle.
But, Danny, how did the lifeguards operate? They couldn't take the cobra into the water with them.
No, they extracted the poison from his poison sacs. Used it in 2 hypodermic needles taped together. The hypodermic syringes were small and easily concealed in the palm of their hands.
But when did they inject the poison into their victims?
As they rescued them. If some poor devil was taken with a cramp and called for help, the lifeguards would swim off or row out to him. Then when they got to him, they'd put their twin needles in him and give him a shot of poison. Those points made a double incision. Then they'd bring him into shore to die a painful death from cobra venom.
Well, what were the rattlesnakes used for?
To feed the cobras. Professor Meredith told me that.
Oh, I see. Well, how do you account for the stories of people actually seeing the sea serpent?
Oh, they let their imaginations run riot after the lifeguards started the serpent story.
I see. And you got your first clue from the poison detector ring I gave you?
Yes, Doc. It was your gift to me that really saved the businessmen of Breaker City from ruination.
Well, you did a good job, Danny.
Yes, but I'm glad it's over. I never liked snakes, and I'll fight them whether they crawl on their bellies or walk on 2 feet.
And so another fiendish racket was smashed by the Blue Beetle. What will Dan Garrett's next assignment be? Where will the Blue Beetle strike next in his crusade against the underworld? These questions will be answered in the next episode of The Blue Beetle.
All right. So I think that wraps it up for the evening. Not as much dynamite as I would have liked. Nowhere near enough misogyny.
No,
I mean,
always need more misogyny.
Quiet evening. Not that we literally promote misogyny. It was just funny.
Just, slight misogyny.
I mean, calling people names and broads and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
Holding doors, putting coats down over puddles.
Yeah. As long as you're a classy broad.
But in any event, Nick Ricada actually went live on time, so you guys should go check him out. I believe he's playing some Ace Attorney tonight. So, that'll be good. And we definitely appreciate everybody coming out. Ayrton, as always, thank you for filming the show with me.
Of course. It's always fun.
See you folks on Wednesday. I will put up a poll in the morning and decide what we're gonna keep listening to. Blue Beetle, go back to the Shadow, or move on to something else.
I don't know. I do kind of miss the Shadow a little bit.
Yeah, well, the Shadow's really good. Anyway, we will see you folks later.
Good night, everybody.